no bulb in it. I'm not turning this lamp on. Greetings and salutations. Should we leave this all in? Why not? Welcome to Flashback Friday. And the theme, the topic, wait, first of all, hey Mark. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Ben.
It's my roadie, Mark Taft. You might recognize him in the chat under the screen name Mark Taft. Or when I say, hey, look, there's Mark in the chat, my roadie.
No secrets here.
No,
only
to protect the guilty and the innocent and the involved. Yeah. So, Flashback Friday. We're talking his 3 most favorite gigs that we did together. Because I say we did it together because you were part of the team as much as I was part of the team.
Very interesting to say the least.
So let's go with your 3rd favorite first.
Okay, I think it would be, and now I don't want to, I think it would be the 2013 festival.
Oh yes, the Art and Sound Festival, which I believe was on Saturday, August the 10th or August the 12th, because it was right around mid-August 2013 in Frankfurt, Ontario, at the Frankfurt Tourist Park in Frankfurt, Ontario.
Yeah.
And that was a festival organized by myself, Mr. Richard Shanahan, former co-host of Canucks with Guitars,
Gabby,
and Gabby Wagner, owner of Animaniacs Bar and Grill at the time. I say at the time because she's had a variety of careers, including playing in her own bands, Drowning Out Waving.
Very talented individual.
Very talented. So that's number 3. Let me think. Highlights of the day. That was an all day into the night. We had 8 or 10 bands.
Oh, yeah, there was 10, 12, I believe. Close to 12.
I couldn't even name all.
Everybody was so...
There was no hassles.
No, everybody, knew that there would be some setbacks, time setbacks, and delays.
And this poor guy. So you headed a volunteer crew that day. And a road crew basically, and the cool thing about the stage setup was they had a garage door, if you will, right at the back of the stage where you could back in to load in at the back of the stage. So this guy, if he wasn't pulling gear off of a truck to go up on stage, he was pulling gear off stage to go back into another truck. It was just, and literally we would back up a truck, get rid of gear, and then he'd leave and another one come in to load the gear on for the next band. And then you'd have that band that's on stage bring up their van or whatever. So as soon as he was done, they could take stuff off stage. And I saw at one point, you had it so slick, people were pulling stuff off stage and not even break stride and putting it right in the van.
Yes.
Like we're not making a pile here to put back later.
It right from the stage to the vehicle, so we can get the transition of your setup times is a lot quicker. You know.
That was a fun day. That was a fun day.
And that was my dart team that helped me out.
I believe. That's right. It was your dart team.
And there was a you had I believe it was through. You gave us a shout out, so to speak, or something.
Oh, I always have to thank all the volunteers.
Yeah, and
I was going to say, don't lean too much that way. You're leaning off camera. He's like, so anyways, that's what I was saying.
That was very special.
All right, Cousin Doug, we'll deal with you after we're... Why does he text when we're recording? Anyway, number 2 on your list, 2nd most favorite gig.
Ooh, it was a big toss-up. I believe it would be Anvil.
Okay.
Anvil.
The night we opened for Anvil. Sure.
At the, am I allowed to say?
Overtime Sports Bar and Grill in Kingston, Ontario.
That set of stairs is a roadie's nightmare.
Yeah.
And trust me, those giant
we should mention, the venue's on the 2nd floor, but it's a commercial 2nd floor, so it's not a 16-stair flight. It's like a 24-stair flight.
Yeah. But the night was awesome. That night, one of the highlights, I got a good laugh out of Ben here, and because I hadn't seen these guys for years, and I said to Ben, who are all these guys hanging out at our table? They just got here. They just come in like a breeze, and Ben started snickering. I go, what are they doing? It looked like they've been traveling all night, and he said, well, yeah, they are, because that's Anvil. I'm going, what?
Yeah.
And there was Lips and
Rob.
And Rob.
Sal was playing bass with him at the time.
Yeah. And that was, what an amazing night.
Yep.
The other local bands that helped open, they stayed along.
Yeah, they opened, and then we were the direct support before Anvil. Yeah. That was fun.
That was great.
All right. Most favorite gig we did together.
Well, I would believe that the one that tops that is almost neck and neck with the Anvil concert would be the Killer Dwarfs opening up, your band opening up for Killer Dwarfs.
Well, yeah, the newly reformed Killer Dwarfs.
Yes.
Because up until that time, there was a good decade where they weren't doing anything. Russ, the front man, was doing solo acoustic Killer Dwarfs sets.
Yeah.
Daryl, their drummer, fronted his own band, Automan.ca.
Okay.
And Jerry Finn, their guitar player, who didn't he play with? Mainly, I think he was playing with Burton Cummings a lot the previous decade, which he still does on the side. So, and they didn't have a bass player until they reformed for that mini tour, where they brought in his social media name. We'll go with Moishi Feinstein, because that's his social media name, who was the bass player for Automan.ca. Daryl brought him in as the bass player for the Dwarves, which really worked out well. Great tone. That was a fun show.
Yeah, you definitely had a good long talk with both of these band members from the Dwarfs and from Anvil there. Just listening to their experiences is something that a stagehand, if you're listening out there, keep your ears open.
I remember you were hanging out with the Dwarves roadie a fair amount that night too.
Yeah, and keep your ears open, keep your mind open, and wow, the things that you learn, the little tricks that you learn will help you a long, long way.
Sure. Yeah, 3 great nights. Interesting choices. Definitely 3 memorable days and nights for me. Mm-hmm. You chose 2 where I played, and he was my roadie. At that time, for the first one or the third one on the list, the Art Sound Festival, I wasn't playing in a band at the time, but Mark was helping me do music production, and that's how I ended up co-organizing the festival. Is I ran the PA system all day, and so at that time I was doing my top-notch entertainment sound production company.
Yes.
And he was my right-hand man at that time.
That commenced around 2011 or started around
2011, 2012.
Late 2011,
no,
2012.
No, mid 2012.
Yeah. Okay.
Mid 2012.
Yeah.
Because I stopped working for the military in the spring of 2012, and then by summer I was ramped up and doing that, and we had reconnected by the fall because I was doing it a few months. I still remember, I ran into you over at the plaza over here, out front of the Scotiabank.
Right.
And I'm like, hey! You're like, hey! And we hadn't seen each other in a couple of years. He's like, what are you up to? I'm like, sound production. And you dropped Pat's name to me and said, I got some experience working with Pat. And I went, well, Pat's the best guy in this area, so if you want help out, come on over. And so, and basically a decade later, we're not really doing much now due to, world events. Yeah. We'll just call it world events. But when I get back to playing, he's going to be there with me.
You betcha. I can't thank enough the individuals along the way. Pat Clark and his guys there, they had a little bit of a name for me because I was just learning. Excuse me. I was just learning how to run cables and set up the sound system. So Pat Clark, if I'm allowed to say this,
sure. Well, you already are.
The nickname. They gave me the nickname Shit. And I said, well, thanks. I frowned a bit, and no, Pat says, no, that's sound hand in training.
Exactly.
And I'm going, I'm the shit.
So there you go, folks. Flashback Friday right here. If you're new, please like and subscribe. Well, and if you're returning, like it too. Leave a comment down below. I don't know. Say hi. So until next time, he's Mark. I'm Ben. Peace.
Keep the music alive.